Well, Western Cape liquor traders are now accusing authorities of being unreasonable. That's the words they've used as they propose changes to liquor licensing laws. Traders, to my understanding, will have to renew their licenses by convincing officials why they should be allowed to continue. Well, let's get the view then of Western Cape Community Safety MEC, Reagen Allen, joining us this morning. Reagen, good to have you back on eNCA. So tell us where this has come from before we talk about how they convince you they should have a license. Why is this coming into play?
Good morning. Thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to engage in this regard. In terms of Section 64, there's automatic renewals in terms of liquor licenses, and that has been created in order to ensure that we enhance compliance to liquor laws and that traders are then compliant, but also importantly to ensure that businesses are able to thrive. Out of the almost 9,000 liquor outlets that we have here in the Western Cape, 116, and please allow me to repeat, there's 116 liquor outlets that are not going to be automatically receiving the renewal license because there was matters with regard to their compliance. So when any person, a liquor inspector visits or there's complaints around the establishment, we look into it. There's an independent tribunal because we need to look after the public interest. We need to ensure that our liquor traders are actually compliant, and this process is actually in place to ensure that we remove the red tape. So it's 116 out of the almost 9,000. And they are in our hotspot areas, and it's not in one area alone. It is from Khayelitsha all the way to George, Somerset West in Delft. It's spread over 37 communities here in the Western Cape. I remain open to engage liquor traders, but we want to be clear. It is to enhance our compliance mechanisms so that businesses are ultimately able to thrive.
There's a suggestion as well, Reagen, that doing it this way, and I'm not sure there's another way of doing this, but doing it through the method you're using at the moment could put operators out of business. What do you make of that response to what's happening?
No, not at all. What we are wanting to see is that we are wanting to help businesses to thrive. We are wanting businesses to be compliant. There's a direct link with regard to violence, even murders and rape cases that is linked to alcohol abuse. So when any outlet faces a compliance matter, for example, selling outside of the liquor trading hours or selling liquor to a minor, or even selling liquor that is for on consumption, but then they sell it for off consumption purposes, it defeats the regulations and the rules that are in place in order to ensure that communities and businesses are able to thrive. So we are looking at the compliance matter because in the last crime stats, it was over 460 matters with regard to alcohol abuse that was linked to assault. There were 16 murders. So we are very keen in balancing the business aspect to make sure that outlets are able to thrive, but also to ensure that we remove the red tape. So out of all the other, almost it's 8,988 that are liquor accredited here in the Western Cape. 116, it's only 116 that are not going to be automatically renewed. The others, they were compliant and they will be automatically renewed, which means that we remove all the red tape and businesses are able to thrive. We cannot live in a society where compliance are not met and where the rules are not adhered to.
Reagen, help me understand, just as a last question to you, just before I say goodbye. I'm seeing here that liquor license consultant Tulani Pike on record saying that many of the traders in the Cape Flats will be out of business, and I want to quote this, it's predominantly coloured and black people. We view this as an exclusion of black and coloured people from economic participation. Is that what's happening?
Definitely not. I want to state again, it is 37 communities where these 116 outlets are situated in, out of 8,988. It is not predominantly only in your coloured and your black areas. It is where there was compliance matters. We've already served the notices at the end of June in order to alert those outlets. There is a process undergoing, and by the end of September, these outlets would have to then make representation to the Liquor Tribunal in order to then look at how we are able to put stringent conditions in place to ensure that they become compliant, because we want to live in a society where liquor outlets are ultimately compliant, where our communities are safe, and where businesses are able to thrive. So it's not a targeted approach, and I do know that politics is often brought in, but the facts are very clear. All these outlets and the information is also listed on the Liquor Authority's website, so that we can obtain public comment as well.
Okay, I understand. Reagen, thank you very much for coming on to speak to us, getting as many sides of the story as we can. That's police oversight and community safety from the City of Cape Town. Reagen Allen joining us.